Hello, everyone, and welcome to our QA Bug Jam. We have a lot of wonderful things to be showing you tonight. My name is Tiffany Hall. I am an alumni of TripleTen Software Engineering Program. I'm a full stack engineer, and I'm a product owner at Scholastic Inc., the world's largest publisher of children's books and a powerhouse in the digital education space as well. Tonight, I get to do one of my favorite things, which is to host the TripleTen August QA Bug Jam. I enjoy hosting all of our bug jams and code jams and bug puddings and, well, bug pudding sounds gross. Let's not do that at all. So if you're new and you're wondering what is a code jam, let me go ahead and explain to you what that might be. But in this case, it's a bug jam. So it's a competition in a very short time frame here at TripleTen where we have all of our students get together, and we break them into teams and they have to, in this case, QA one of our projects from a previous software engineering code jam, and then tonight they will show you all of the work that and the bugs they have jammed out. Jam. So we have two parts. We have the first part, which is the project part, and that is the thing they have been working on. Our quality assurance students have been working on since last week. And then tonight they are going to show us their presentation of their work. So for the past week, the students have been working on a QAing a project from our July SE and DS code jam. So this was one last month where we had our software engineering students and our data science students working together to make a web-based application. They were creating and developing some very inspiring apps that were focused on helping people create optimal routes for summer vacations, which I personally very much appreciated. That we also have chosen for all of our QA students to be testing the Colorado-based website Colo Rush. So that was created by our July DS and SE winning team called Fully Stacked. And so being from Colorado, I'm very excited that's the app that we chose. So Colo Rush is an interactive web-based platform that helps our users discover custom summer adventures based on their favorite outdoor sports here in Colorado. Our teams for the quality assurance group only had 5 days to work on their projects, and today they're going to go ahead and show off all of the fun little buggy bits they've found. All of our results will be posted in the Hub by August 15th. All of our students can vote on the Hub in our poll that we will put up there after this live stream. And if you are not a student of ours just yet, you can go ahead and vote in the YouTube live chat that you will see either to the side or below me, depending on if you're watching this live or if you're watching this on replay later. Um, all you have to do to vote is write the name of your favorite team, and then audience award winners will also be announced on August 15th, and they will get a special prize. I always like to make sure my cat Sharkbait adds a little something special. So just remember to poke air holes in the box when you get it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with all of the fun bits. We have a lot of really great pre-recorded presentations tonight, and then we will talk with our team members afterwards. So our first team tonight is the Shack and Ash Bug Smashers team, and that team consists of Ashley Sichi and Shakur Day. All right, let me get it all going for us here.
Hello, everyone watching this live. We are Shag and Ash Bug Smashers, and we are here to help you squash bugs and keep your experience clean and smooth. Before I get into this presentation, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Shakur Day. I live in Statesville, North Carolina, and a fun fact about me is I love to watch and play basketball. Alongside of me is Ashley. She is from upstate New York. and she can't be here for this presentation, but the web app that we tested was called Color Rush. Let me give you a quick overview of Color Rush. Color Rush is an adventure planning web app designed for outdoor lovers. It helps users generate custom routes based on activities such as mountain biking, rock climbing, and kayaking, all across Colorado. It features Google Maps integration, allowing users to easily start and end points on a map. There's also user authentication built in so users can sign up or log in. Once they do, they can save their routes to their profile for easy access later. Overall, this app is aimed at adventure seekers who want a more personalized experience when planning their outdoor trips. Now let's get into methodologies and the tools we use during testing Color Rush. We applied black box testing and manual testing as a part of our main approaches. For this test design, we use equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis to cover both valid and input scenarios. We also perform cross-browser testing to make sure the app behaves constantly on both Chrome and Safari, and we use negative testing to see how the app handles unexpected or incorrect input. For our tools that we use Google Sheet to test case. For our test cases, we use Jira to report our bugs. We use dev tools to inspect the UI structure. We use Lighthouse for the performance test and accessibility test. And I'm currently using Google Slides for this presentation and using Zoom to record. The environments we used Google Chrome, Apple Safari, and Safari. Here you can see the breakdown of our test cases for this, the test case results for Color Rush. We executed a total of 86 test cases. 60 test cases passed, meaning the feature worked as expected and under the test conditions. 27 test cases failed, which helped us identify several bugs that impacted usability, responsiveness, and login behavior. This chart gives us a clear visual of systems, current stability, and shows there's room for improvement. Our test coverage included login functionality, UI layout, responsiveness on mobile, and validation rules on input fields. Next, we have our priority bugs. After executing our test cases, we categorize the bugs based on the priority, which help us understand which issues needed immediate attention and which could be addressed later. As shown in the chart, 8 bugs were labeled high priority. These directly impacted functionality such as broken validation rules or elements not rendering correctly. 5 bugs were medium priority, issues like inconsistent layouts or confusing user flows. 14 bugs were low priority, mostly minor visual issues or slightly misalignments that didn't affect the app's functionality. Prioritizing bugs this way allowed us to focus our attention on what have the biggest impact on the user experience. Next, we want to talk you through some of the severe bugs. We discovered during the test issues that significantly impact the usability and security. First, we found that the sign-up form failed proper validation. The email field shows a generic error, but no red highlights or feedback appears, and the button stays active, making the UI confusing. We categorize this as a medium due to poor user experience. Second, after successfully signing up, the login model failed to appear and there was no error message or indication of what went wrong. This blocked users from accessing the app, so we marked it as a high. Lastly, The most critical, we discovered that the app accepted invalid passwords, whether we were doing one letter passwords or more than 32. It redirected us to the homepage without validation. This is a high severity bug because it introduced serious security vulnerability. These findings helped us prioritize fixes and highlight areas where the app users flow and handle need improvements. Sorry. This is our performance testing. We use Google Lighthouse to evaluate Colo Rush and overall performance. This tool runs a series of audits and different categories like performance, accessibility, best practice, and SEO. The performance was a 77, the accessibility was 100, and the best practices was 78. The SEO was 92. Oh, sorry. The past audits where buttons have proper accessibility names, all images have all attributes, touch targets and well spaced for mobile usability, heading structures, logic. These indicate that the app is well designed, usability, readability, and basic accessibility. Now for our supported environments. During this test, our process, we made sure ColoRush works well across a variety of environments to ensure a smooth and consistent experience for all users. Here's what we verified. The resolution was compatible with both high 1920 by 1080 and a low of 700 and 600 screen resolutions. Browsers tested across major browsers with optimal performance on Google Chrome. I use mobile device right here on the side, as you can see. I use my mobile device to generate the through the web page, and this is the whenever I finish the generate routes, this is what I got, and it's you can see that it's a UI problem. The responsive design, the elements adapts without disruption or scroll bars of various screen sizes. Cross-platform support functional on desktops, tablets, and mobile platforms. This is our team insights. The positive outcome, we were always willing to help one another. We worked together to test across multiple environments. Peers reviewed each other, worked to catch errors or any improvement that we needed. Strong communication and teamwork. We communicated mostly through cell phone and messages. The obstacles we faced were balancing work shift and project deadline because me working third and her working morning shifts it was difficult at the time. We had family responsibilities, made it difficult to stay focused during tasks, and limited availability for meetings due to different schedules. Despite these challenges, we remained flexible and committed to the success of the project. What we learned, the project taught us more than just how to test. It showed us what it means to work like a real QA professional. The value of a team collaboration through tasks, delegation, and communication. Improved our ability to think like a user and spot UI and UX issues. We gained experience with real world test and workflows and web app behavior. How to write and present clear documentation and communicate results effectively. The importance of response design tests across different screen sizes. We realized the important it is to test like a real user and never assume a feature works without verifying it. Lastly, I have a quote that I just want to finish with. Quality assurance isn't just about finding bugs, it's about protecting the user experience and making sure every click feels right. That is my presentation, and I just want to thank y'all. Y'all have a great and wonderful day.
All right, that was fantastic. So that was the Shack and Ash Bug Smashers group. And so thank you very much, Shack and Ash, for that. let's go ahead and move on to our next project. Our next project is going to be the Color Rushers. And the Color Rushers is the team of Lourdes Alejandrino and Ilona Zavlosky. Let's go ahead and get going with their project.
Hello, everyone. We are the Colo Rushers. Our team consists of myself, Ilona, and my awesome teammate, Lourdes. We tested an app called Colo Rush that was created by our TripleTen data science and software engineer students. This app helps users discover activities and create adventure routes in Colorado. The tools that we used for communication were TripleTen Hub, Zoom, and phone calls and messaging. For documentation, we used Google Sheets and Jira. We also used DevTools to test resolution, as well as Pixel and Apple mobiles, and Lighthouse. And for this presentation, we used Canva as well as Zoom once again. For testing, we did a series of functional testing, including UI, white box, and exploratory testing, and followed that with non-functional testing, including equivalence class, boundary values, accessibility, performance, and cross-browser testing. For our case studies, we had a total of 636 test cases. We were debugging the landing page, the sign up and login forms, as well as performance and the supported environments. And we found a total of 264 bugs. For the severity, we had 13 low severity bugs, and those were more about color differences and different text compared to requirements. We found 12 medium severity bugs, which were more in highlighting and is signaling invalid inputs, which can be confusing to users. And then we found 48 high severity bugs. Of those, which were the major issue was security. The username, email, and password fields were not having validation applied to them, and that was not ensuring that each field meets the requirements criteria, and that poses a security risk because we were able to use all types of special characters. We were able to use different language characters. We were able to enter as little or as many characters as we wanted between the username, email, and password, and we had no limits to that. The app also allowed users who were non-existing to register and be able to create, save, and delete routes, which can also pose as a security issue. But otherwise, the performance was very good. It was very accessible and accommodating, and the app was well supported in different environments for optimal user experience.
Sorry, I changed the page a little too soon. Here, I'm going to show you how you can save a route onto the page. You can see here I'm selecting different routes that I want to add to my adventure. I believe you could select, you have the minimum of 3 up to all of them. And then it goes down. You're going to generate your route. It does take a little bit of time for it to pop up. Okay. And then you can see it shows you the routes, it shows you what you chose, and then it shows you your saved route, which is on the page for anyone to enjoy. So Bob down in Wisconsin can go and share your route with you. So that is kind of an annoying process. You can't really save it into your own account, mostly because you can't even log in, which is, as we discussed, a security issue. Okay, so some of the challenges we faced was timing. Um, Timing just in our personal lives, being able to write out the bugs, to test them out within the small amount of time frame that we had. Zoom, which also was a timing issue for us because we were running out of time when we were doing our meetings and making our recordings. Other programs, Jira, Google Docs, as great as they are, we had trouble sharing sometimes, editing, even Canva, doing things as we're editing and fixing, and it was giving us problems as well. Our takeaway from this program or this August, July bug, or I'm sorry, yes, August, is we learned more about Lighthouse, how to use it, how to use it for performance and accessibility testing, teamwork. It was great teamwork between us, but it's never easy when you are learning, meeting somebody new, and communication, which was key to getting this done and being able to present it. In conclusion, the app is very user friendly between all platforms. Um, Again, the security issue with logging in and creating an account. Um, Without boundaries, anyone can get in. People who don't have an account can get in, and saving your adventures into your own account. If you can't log in, you can't sign up, you can't save your account, but you can share it with everyone around the world. So thank you very much for watching our presentation.
Okay, that was lovely. Now we are going to go ahead and talk with Ilana. So Ilana is one of the, oh, you don't have my camera. There's my camera. Hey, there I am. So Ilana is one of our teammates we just watched your presentation. So how was the overall bug jam process for you and your teammate? I know that there's, problems with Google, and I know time zones and work schedules, those get in there. But in terms of like feeling prepared for the QA part of it, how did you feel that went?
I personally felt really good. I actually enjoyed it. I did think it was a little bit on a time crunch. I feel like 5 days was like pushing it, but I think we did a good job. We had really great communication. We were able to divide the work fairly and both get as much as we could done. I think we had 636 test cases, so we definitely did a lot of work. But overall, I felt really good about it.
Yeah, there was definitely so many bugs. Now, and for the viewers at home, you can watch the July DS and SE Code Jam presentation, and you'll see that the app as a whole kind of has a really robust flow to it. We really narrowed down the scope for our QA students. So the fact that just to like login forms and things, and the fact that you were able to find so many bugs just within this narrow scope we gave you is amazing.
Yeah, we tried.
I think
We
it
were
was really
trying to
great.
make it as very user friendly and ready to go.
I think you guys did a great job with that. Now, how was working in a remote team with someone you've never met before? Because that is something that a lot of people tend to feel nervous about when they are first joining.
I was a little bit nervous when I first joined, but Lourdes had already done a bug jam in July. So she was a little bit more confident about what to do and how to do it. So she kind of led the outline of what we were doing. And then I think, like I said, we had really good communication. We met almost every night, every evening. Zoom has this thing where it gives us only 30 minutes to meet. So she would start the meeting and then they would kick us out after 30 minutes and then I would make my own meeting and we were talking and on the computer like on the call for about an hour and a half like every other night. So that was interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Got to stretch the limits of that free plan, right?
Yeah.
So now we talked a lot about the time frame of things. If you had just one more extra day, is there some part of the project you would go back and make more robust, or one little piece you wanted to investigate further?
I wouldn't say so. I think we did pretty good. If
Yeah,
there were
very
more to
thorough.
the requirements, we would definitely do more. But I want to say more or less we covered everything to our best abilities.
Yeah, at 600 bugs, I'm sure there was no stone unturned. All right, well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer some questions, and thank you for sharing your project.
Thank
So
you.
that was the Color Rushers with Ilana Zavlosky and Lourdes Alejandrino. So we're going to go next to our last presentation of the evening, which is the QA Ninjas. And the QA Ninjas is Aisha Habib and Manjula Venkatareddy. So let me go ahead and get that going for them.
Let's begin with a quick journey. Biking through scenic trails, riding the rapids, climbing new heights. These are more than just adventures. They represent freedom, energy, and exploration. And that's exactly the spirit behind the ColorRush app, an app designed to bring excitement, discovery, and connection to everyday users. Welcome to our Bug Jam presentation on ColorRush brought to you by Team QA Ninjas. Hello everyone, my name is Aisha Habib. I am a TripleTen QA alumni with a passion for quality and detail. Outside of tech, I love biking and going on adventure trips, just like the users of ColorRush. And my team member, Manjula Reddy, is also a QA enthusiast from TripleTen. She brings curiosity and precision to every test. She loves hiking, exploring new trails, the kind of vibrant experiences Color Rush offers. Color Rush is an interactive web platform that helps users to discover custom summer adventures based on their favorite sport, such as biking, kayaking, whitewater rafting, hiking, etc. Over the past few days, we have explored this app just like an adventure, tested its limits, uncovered hidden bugs, and worked towards improving the overall experience. We followed a structured approach that included manual testing, cross-browser and responsive checks, user flow simulation, form validation testing, and bug logging with priority and severity. Our testing was conducted across different browsers and devices to ensure a consistent user experience. For documentation, we used Google Suite. For bug reporting, we used Jira tool. For communication between team members, we use Zoom meetings and TripleTen Hub. We tested key features such as user registration, login, responsiveness of the interface. We also reviewed error handling, field validations, and the behavior of interactive elements within the app. This bar chart gives a quick overview of test cases we created and executed during the bug jam. As you can see, we made 143 total test cases, out of which 71 of them passed, but 72 of them failed. This pie chart represents the distribution of bugs we reported during our testing, categorized by severity, high, medium, and low. Most issues were found of high severity that affects the core functionality of the app. This short clip demonstrates a critical bug where an unauthorized user or a user who's not even logged into the app is able to save a route, a feature that should be restricted to login users only. This violates the expected behavior and poses a security concern. As you can see it on the screen, that the app lets the unauthorized user save their route. Now, moving on to more issues, I wrap up my presentation over here and give it to Manjula. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Manjula. To begin with, let's go over the high priority bugs in sign up page. During sign up testing, we found several major issues. Special characters were accepted in usernames, invalid email formats passed without error, password validations were missing for length and complexity, no meaningful error messages were displayed, and the login pop up did not appear after a successful sign up. These issues disrupt the user flow and compromise the usability and data integrity. Moving on to high to medium priority bugs in login and homepage. The login field validations failed for password. Users were not redirected to the homepage after login. No appropriate error messages were shown for invalid credentials. Previously entered data remained in the form fields. The home page lacked a navigation link to return to the landing page. Moving on to mobile and compatibility testing. During mobile device testing, we encountered a high LCP score, which indicates that the main content is taking too long to render on mobile screens. And we also noticed several layout issues such as misaligned elements, content overflowing beyond the screen, and improper scaling, especially on smaller devices. In terms of browser compatibility, we tested the app on Firefox, Edge, and Opera, where critical features like user registration and saving routes were not functioning properly. Additionally, previously saved routes were not visible, which disrupted the core functionality for returning users. Moving on to performance testing, uh, the performance testing revealed significant problems. All tests failed LCP criteria with scores ranging from 3.6 to 29.4 seconds, and slow load times were due to heavy content on the landing page. Looking at the two Lighthouse UI testing reports for Color Rush on both home and user pages, there are key areas needed for improvement. Performance-wise, LCP score exceeds 4 seconds in both cases, suggesting delays in rendering primary content. And the image loading should be optimized and prioritize critical resources. Lastly, in terms of UI best practices, we found 12 third-party cookies which may cause security concerns. Moving on to suggestions and improvements. Based on our findings, we recommend implementing complete front-end validation for all form fields, ensuring that login model appears post-sign-up, restricting route saving to logged-in users only, optimizing images for better performance, providing clear error messages and better navigation links, ensuring full compatibility across all browsers and mobile devices. Moving on to key takeaways from BugJam. This experience gave us valuable insights, honed our ability to spot UI UX inconsistencies and validation gaps, learned to document test cases and bug reports effectively, strengthened our understanding of the QA process, including severity prioritization and retesting, and most importantly, we improved as a team in communication and collaboration. We have collaborated closely, dividing tasks like functional UI UX review, performance checks, and reporting bugs, all with one goal, helping ColoRush shine. Thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
All right. That was fantastic. And we're going to talk to Aisha. Hi, Aisha. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. So, how was the bug jam? It seems like you guys worked really well together. You guys found some really great recommendations from the bugs that you were able to put into like actionable things for the devs and the business side. But how was it all together?
It was good. It was like there were good type of bugs, like more of a high priority and critical priority. This time we had less of low priority, so we were saying, okay, this one is also critical. This one is also critical. Let's just move everything to the highest ones. And then we were also putting down, okay, the suggestions that if they're going to be improved, the other things like field validations, if one thing gets done, everything would, it would be the chain reaction and everything would get set.
For sure. Yeah. You get a critical bug. Everybody gets a critical bug. So,
Yeah.
in terms of the recommendations that you guys put forward, um, is there one specific piece or recommendation that you think your team would have gone maybe a little deeper on if you'd had maybe another day or another week?
I would say that the field validations, we were like, if another day or another, like we would have been given, we could do all the things like punctuation marks and,
Right.
the other keys on the board, trying out the or more negative test cases because
Sure.
uh, whenever I have the bug jam, like it's been my 3/4. So I would first test it. Where are the more bugs, like where are the test cases getting failed? I would make them first, then I would go to the past ones because just do the difficult work before you move on to the easy work. So
Yeah.
whenever I look at it, I was like, okay, all of the field validations are getting failed. If they would just turn on the field validations, like for each of their fields, email and username,
Mm,
and
quick
then
add. Yeah.
the whole registration model, the whole login model will itself get the security and everything in there.
Yeah. Really great quick win for a development team to get that information. Now,
Yeah.
you mentioned that you've done a few of these. How do you feel like you're progressing in your knowledge and in your ability to kind of get through a lot of work in a short amount of time?
Yes, I feel yes. With the presentation, I just made it in 2 hours. Yes, with the recording, it took us time because of the internet
Sure.
connection or some other things. But if it would like everything would have gone smooth, it would have been like second try and we would have submitted it.
Man.
But with the presentation, I am more of pro. And with the test cases thing, yes, because with the previous bug jams, I was not doing, not writing the proper preconditions. I would just
Okay.
go on because I would say, okay, precondition means that this has been happened. Oh, okay, the person will know. They would just write it down the link and the link would open. It's okay, it's just clicking. But this time I'm writing it down. Click on this button, click on the top left button, then click this, then click this. So I hope so that
Yes.
people will accept it and they wouldn't say that this like it has been incomplete or you need to write proper. So that was my like for the last few bug jams, that was my getting the pinpoint thing that they were taking it out, that you need to write this, that this should be improved, this should be improved. So I tried my best this time.
All right. So the feedback has been really helpful, it sounds like. Really specific to like things that you need to grow on as just a
Mhm.
QA engineer as a whole. And it sounds like a lot of it is in the same place that developers and all the others we make a lot of assumptions, right? Well, of course you have to click on the link. How else are you gonna get there? Meanwhile, your teacher's like, no, no, you
Yes,
have to write that down.
yes, yes, that's the thing, that click on that green color. I didn't write the color though, but I did write that navigate to this page, observe the screen. Okay, I use these words more in
Yeah.
my cases this time. So hoping to make sure that I'm not leaving anything behind, at least whatever I'm doing, it's complete. And I know
Well,
there are so many test cases still left, but there was no time.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, it sounds like you guys did a really great job, and I'm glad to hear that you're learning in growing still each bug jam that you do, because that is one of the best parts, I think, for me, having been a teacher, is seeing just the progress that students are able to make. And I see a lot of bug jam and code jam participants, and they come on and they're like, oh, 5 days. And the more they do them, the more they're like, 5 days, I can build a whole city in 5 days. Um, So I'm glad to hear that is the case for your team as well.
Yeah, you start with a slow pace, but all of the work is done in the last hour or 2 hours or 3 hours on the last day when you have the when Dennis puts the date. Okay, it's the spring day today, and you are on it. Okay, I'm gonna finish it in 3 hours. That's it.
All right. So Dennis, who is our Code Jam manager, it sounds like you are the pacemaker. You set the pace there, buddy. All right,
Yes,
that is our QA Ninjas team, and that team consists of Aisha Habib and Manjula Venkataredi.
thank
And
you.
that is going to be all of our presentations. And that is going to be the end for us today at TripleTen for our August QA Bug Jam presentations. I want to thank you all so much for watching at home. And thank you so much to all of our teams for taking the time to pre-record when they couldn't be here because you obviously heard they are all very busy people. And thank you to the people that were able, the students who were able to join live to represent your team. It's really awesome. And I love talking about all the nerdy little goodness that you guys learn about. So thank you so much. I want to also remind everybody that our audience award winners and our Bug Jam winners will be announced on August 15th on the Hub and the socials and on LinkedIn and probably a Skywriter, who knows, but lots of places. So you can find them there. I want to say special thanks to everyone who helped behind the scenes organize this bug jam. Irina, Kevin, Elena, Natasha, Anastasia, Dennis, who we heard is our pacemaker, and of course my cat Sharkbait, who is probably looking at how he can go on hikes right now, I'm sure, with all of this Colorado stuff. Thank you again for watching. My name is Tiffany Hall. You can find me at Tiffany Codes on Instagram, and you can probably find my cat trying on hiking harnesses now. Thanks for watching and have a great evening.